Every woman reaches a moment when the life she built no longer fits. Maybe that's where you are right now. I'm Beryl, and this is the Radiant Reset, honest conversations and tools to help you trust yourself again, reset your energy, and create what's next from calm confidence. If you've been working harder than ever and money still feels stuck, this conversation might help you to see things differently. I know that feeling, the tight chest, the quiet panic, the whisper that says, maybe I'm too old to start over. But here's what I've come to realize: financial freedom doesn't start with spreadsheets or side hustle hacks. It starts with energy, with gratitude, and with trust, with how you feel when you think about money and value and possibility. I'm not sharing this because I've mastered it. I'm sharing it because I've lived it and I'm still learning. This is about shifting out of scarcity, recognizing the gifts we already have, and allowing them to become sources of income and fulfillment that actually feel aligned for this season of our lives. Money follows energy, and today I want to talk about how to tune into yours. So let me take you back to a moment in my life when everything I thought I knew about financial security completely crumbled. I had just given up everything, my entire life really, to move to Amsterdam to be with my husband, who's actually 8 years younger than me. He was just starting out in his career. And while that age gap had never felt like an issue before, suddenly it mattered. It was clear that we needed two incomes. I'd arrived full of excitement and full of vision, but after the initial thrill wore off, after we had unpacked and settled in, I woke up one morning and thought, now what? He'd go off to work every day, and I'd be left sitting there wondering what my life was supposed to look like now. What was I going to do that day? Shopping and sightseeing around Amsterdam? Lovely for a holiday, but my savings were depleting fast, and the reality hit me. I had no plan, no structure, no purpose, and no finances. I'd come from a successful career as an international makeup artist. I'd co-owned a spa. I'd flipped properties with a friend. And so I had value, I had skills, but none of it seemed to translate in this new country that I was in this new context. I tried breaking into the Dutch film industry and the fashion industry. I did a few shoots, but I didn't speak Dutch at that stage. And it wasn't really working. And one day my husband said casually, well, why don't you just work for an NGO? And honestly, I laughed. I had no idea what I'd even do at an NGO. I'd always run my own thing. A proper job? Well, that felt foreign, but I was desperate enough to try. The first NGO that came to mind was Greenpeace. So I went to their website and started scrolling and actually found a role that weirdly seemed to fit my completely random and colorful background: makeup artist, film production work, spa owner, flight attendant, house flipper. Well, it all made no sense, and yet somehow it did. I threw together a rough resume, sent it off, thinking, well, what the hell? Let's see. And 2 days later, Greenpeace called. Interview, then another, and then I got the job, a well-paying one as well. And not long after that, I found out I was pregnant. And when I went on maternity leave, they paid me my full salary for an entire year. So the universe had certainly looked after me. But here's what I realized: none of that happened when I was in fear, grasping, pushing, desperate, trying to control. It happened when I softened, when I took action and started asking, where does my energy feel alive? Instead of, how can I make more money or make any money? That was the real turning point. I stopped trying to fit into boxes that weren't made for me. I stopped apologizing for my unconventional path, and the right opportunity, the aligned opportunity for that time, appeared. So your value isn't gone, it's just waiting to be expressed again. And what I've learned is that money is an energy mirror. It reflects how we feel about our own worth. When we overgive, undercharge, or run ourselves into complete burnout mode, money mirrors depletion. When we reset and rest and share from genuine enthusiasm, money mirrors expansion. Abundance responds to authenticity faster than it responds to effort. Think about it. The times that money flowed easiest probably weren't when you were grinding yourself into the ground, completely desperate. They were when you were doing something that you loved, feeling grounded, maybe even having fun. That's alignment, that's frequency. And we can shift it at any moment just by noticing, where am I holding resentment around money? Where am I giving too much because I don't actually feel enough? And where am I shrinking because I'm afraid to want more? None of that's your fault. We were taught to make ourselves small, to apologize for wanting more. But real freedom begins when we say, my gifts have value, my time has value, my energy has value, and I'm willing to act like that's actually true. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm still figuring this out too. Your wealth doesn't come from working harder. It comes from recognizing what you already see, know, and give effortlessly. So start by asking, what do people already come to me for? What advice or guidance do I give naturally? What problems do I solve without even thinking about it? That's where value lives. That's the seed of your next aligned opportunity. And when it comes to creating income, it doesn't have to be a big leap. You can start small. Maybe it's offering a one on one conversation to someone walking a similar path. Maybe it's teaching a short class on something that comes naturally to you and you're passionate about. Or maybe it's gathering a few women together in a small paid circle or community. If you want more structure and support as you explore those ideas, that's exactly why I created the Midlife Reinvention Roadmap. It's a step-by-step program that helps you move from uncertainty to clarity so that you can turn your experiences and passions into an aligned and sustainable plan without burning out or pretending to be someone that you're not. The details will be in the description below or in the show notes. You don't have to know everything or launch perfectly. Start as an experiment. Let curiosity lead. Let enthusiasm guide you. Financial freedom isn't a finish line. It's a daily decision to honor your own energy and let life meet you there. The more you align with what's true, your gifts, your joy, your natural frequency, the more abundance actually responds. You're not starting over. You're starting truer. If this conversation sparked something in you, subscribe, because next week we're diving into how confidence becomes currency. Please share it with another woman who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you'll touch or change just by passing it on. And don't forget to leave a quick comment. I respond to all of them. It also helps other women find the Radiant Reset and join our community of radiant rebels who refuse to fade away. And remember, your most radiant chapter is waiting for you. So give yourself permission to take action and just begin. And I'll see you next week. Until then, stay radiant, stay true, and keep shining your light.